U.S. President Joe Biden says he has not changed his view that China's President Xi Jinping is a dictator. Biden's comments came as Xi makes a rare visit to the United States for the APEC summit, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Biden and Xi spoke yesterday. For the first time in about a year, the world's two most powerful nations are largely at odds, especially over the future of Taiwan. But they're also pledging to ease tensions. Biden and Xi have reportedly made progress on a number of issues during yesterday's talks, including the fentanyl crisis that affects both nations. Richard Madden is reporting from Washington.
Once that meeting was over, President Biden issued a statement describing that summit as candid and constructive, but not to say there wasn't a bit of a spat towards the very end. The Chinese Foreign Ministry is pushing back after he noted President Biden was asked if he changed his view that China's President Xi Jinping was a dictator. Biden said, well, yes, in that sense that he runs a communist country. So in response, China's foreign ministry called it, quote, extremely wrong and irresponsible political manipulation. So that kind of capped what had been a very carefully planned, very carefully choreographed high-stakes summit. The two leaders spoke for about 4 hours and took a walk along the grounds in front of the cameras. Really, their main goal was to diffuse rising tensions between the world's two largest economies and address major differences that are causing this rift. So in that sense, there were some tangible progress, including an agreement, as you noted, that both countries should start talking again. They've restored military communication lines after China cut them off about a year ago in retaliation after former Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan. So Biden called this agreement a fairly big step because, remember, there were some concerning incidents from aggressive Navy actions along the South China Sea and near Taiwan. And when that so-called spy balloon floated over the U.S., China didn't take America's calls. So now they've agreed when one country picks up the phone, the other will answer. A few other notable agreements here. China agreed to crack down on shipments of fentanyl ingredients to the Western Hemisphere that you noted. And they've also established a working group to deal with the rise of artificial intelligence, including both risks and benefits. But on that sensitive issue of Taiwan, China still views it as its territory. Biden reiterated that America supports a one-China policy. So bottom line here, the two are talking. And Biden was asked if he trusts President Xi and takes him at his word. And Biden basically summed it up saying, trust but verify.
So his meeting with Biden was front and center, Richard, but Xi also met with American business leaders last night, and it sounds like reassurance was on that dinner menu.
Exactly. I mean, President Xi's visit was more about diplomacy. It was about courting investment to prop up China's softening economy. So he was the guest at up to a $40,000 a head dinner, which included titans of American industry, Apple's Tim Cook and Elon Musk. She was sending a message that China is open for business and welcomes American enterprise. And she also signaled pandas could soon return to the U.S., which is a symbol of a friendly partnership.
That is Richard Madden in Washington this morning. In Ottawa,